news report. Before we get started, though, I have one shout-out. It is for Peyton Ossabrook. He asked for a shout-out. So, hey, Peyton.
Hey, Peyton.
Hope your family's doing well. Anyway, do you have any shout-outs?
Our producer, Sean.
Yes, Minnie Tank is sick today, so he's not filming.
Let's see, like on display.
Opelika high school students, listen to me and listen to me closely. You're about to see a piece of history that you can't find anywhere else other than this museum, unless you know somebody that's old. Alright, I give you the oldest zigzag that's on display. And in case you can't read the date, it's 1919. That is the oldest one on display.
UFO hoaxers get fun and community service. Two New Jersey men who state that UFO hoax will have more earthly pursuits, such as picking up trash from the side of the road.
Interesting.
Yeah. A judge fined Chris Russo of Morris Plains, New Jersey, I guess.
No, that's the guy. Morris Plains.
Of Morris Plains. Morris Plains. And Joe Rudy of Chester Township, $250 each, and order them to perform 50 hours of community service. Authorities say the pair triggered a flurry of 911 calls when they lit road flares tied to helium balloons and released them in central New Jersey in January and February.
Very interesting. Oh, yes. Promoting on next episode. Okay. We have decided, after long discussion, that we are only doing 10 episodes of the show. And the 10th episode will be our season finale. We will then wait 2 weeks before we post another S&T show. And that will be the beginning of our new season.
And we have a lot of changes in store for that, actually.
Our 10th episode is going to be our biggest episode yet. It's going to be between 30 minutes to an hour long. So that means it'll probably have 4 parts to it. It's not going to be in our normal studio where we have this. There's no historical features involved. We will still have the Wacky Tacky News, but I don't want to give out too much information about that show because it's top secret. Highly, highly top secret. Maybe.
I don't know yet.
It might.
That was my mother.
That's Mom, which, by the way, don't get confused. We're not brother and sister, even though we act like it sometimes. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. So, yeah.
Yeah, she's over here enough time that she basically lives here.
I call his mom Mom and his dad Dad. And
this is her second home, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
She lays claim to everything.
Like this iPod. It's mine.
Not if I can help it.
But who's holding the iPod? So anyway.
You put your backside in, you put your backside out, you put your backside in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey, the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about.
And across the country, there have been multiple 911 calls from amusement parks. And it's all caused by butt dialing. Now, you do know what butt dialing is. That's where you sit on your phone and it calls somebody in your call log. So, for some reason, a bunch of people have programmed 911 into their phone, and when they ride roller coasters and their butts go up and down like that, they butt dial 911, and of course, all 911 can hear is them screaming because they're on a roller coaster. So the dispatcher sent out a couple of officers to go to this amusement park where this recently happened where they found that it was, in fact, an amusement park and an accidental butt dialing.
Hey, an original Opelika cheerleader's uniform. Now I'm going to back up as far as I can go so y'all can see this. Look, this is the skirt right down here. See? That's the skirt. Ladies, it comes down to your knees. This is also number 29 of the Opelika team. Really. This right here, cheerleaders for Opelika. This is what your uniforms used to look like. Right here. See how long those skirts are? Yeah. Y'all would have been extremely uncomfortable in those.
Now that's an interesting story. That cast iron coffin over there, or what's left of it.
The baby was actually mummified before it was buried.
Yeah, well, if you want the whole story, the baby was born back about the time the Civil War started. The husband had gone off, was a doctor, had gone off with the Confederate forces, right?
Mhm.
She was home alone by herself.
Right.
And she took the baby, who was stillborn,
Mhm.
and wrapped it up and put it in a closet. Well, neighbors, people who came in, they could not talk her into burying that baby. She could not stand to be separated from the baby, as the story goes. So her husband, they finally got hold of her husband. He came home, and he couldn't talk her out of the baby either. So he dug a grave in the backyard, and he built this elaborate little brick crypt. Got the coffin, the cast iron coffin with a glass lid in it, and put it in there, and then he bricked over the top of the coffin, the crypt, and covered it up with dirt. Didn't put any stone or any marker or anything, but at least she knew that her baby was there. And supposedly that satisfied her. Family here bought a farm out around Oak Bowery or something, I think. And they were putting in a new fence, and they were drilling fence holes, and they hit something hard, So they dug it out, and it was a brick crypt. And inside the crypt was this infant's coffin with infant inside. And they took the remains, and they had a local
Coroner?
mortuary, whatever, put them in a modern coffin and reburied them in exactly the same spot and covered it back up. So, but that's the original coffin there. Like I say, what's left of it, because after the drill ran into it, it busted it up. It used to have a glass front end on display. And the damnedest thing about it is, when they put the baby in there, part of it, they had this white dress, right? And it got caught between the lid and the bottom of the coffin, and then when they screwed the lid down in, well, when they took the remains out, they left part of the dress in the coffin, and it's still there. It's caught between the top and the bottom. Harp in there is one of two that she owned. She owned 2 harps similar to that.
Looking for the right track, always on the wrong track. But are you catching all these tracks that I'm laying down for you? There's a song I was listening to